The Sounds of Eclat deep dives into the business worlds of our members and partners.
What is the growth direction of your business? Where's the areas you want to focus on?
We learn about the challenges you've never heard of.
Sometimes work is going to need more of your time. And if you want to be successful, you have to be willing to do that.
The skills and habits that are the backbone of their businesses.
Life comes in seasons, just like the year comes in seasons. Some seasons will be really tough.
And the feedback and advice that set them up for success.
Being able to separate yourself from feedback and know that it's not personal and take it constructively, then you can only ever better the product that you've built.
This is The Sounds of Eclat. Welcome to The Sounds of Eclat. It's Maxi here, and I'm joined by Loz.
Hello, good to be here.
We're going to learn about marketing today, Loz.
We are.
We have a very special guest who's a founder of a digital marketing agency, Mulberry Marketing. Steph Waters. Welcome, Steph.
Thank you. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Loz.
Tell us a little bit about the business.
Well, Mulberry Marketing, we're essentially an end-to-end digital marketing agency, and we serve government, professional service firms, and lifestyle brands.
Yeah.
What we do is, I guess what's different is that we're an integrated marketing agency. So we're end-to-end looking at creative, branding, up to campaign and strategy, and how to implement that across your marketing tech and your customer journey as well. I think what's also different is that we also offer Chinese marketing to our Australian brand clients, and we specialise in WeChat and Red Note, which is Little Red Book.
Yep.
That is really unusual because we know a lot of the Australian market would love to be able to reach the Chinese market. So how do you actually do that? How do you make that alignment?
Well, yeah, we're only a handful of Australian agencies out there that do it well. However, I guess the question is your audience Chinese speaking, and do you need to reach them? So if they're not, then you don't need to try Chinese marketing at all. But if they're right, it depends on, I guess it's like Facebook, Instagram and Pinterest, they have different demographics. So older generations, probably WeChat, long form content. Red Note or Little Red Book, it's kind of like the Instagram, Pinterest equivalent. So you're looking for it's mainly female dominated, aesthetic, kind of lifestyle driven visual content. So really defining or knowing who your audience is will determine which platform to use, and then we can develop a strategy from there. Yeah. So we craft any kind of Western marketing. We develop the strategy, the content, captions, direct the creative as well if you have someone in-house to do it, but we can also create it for you and manage it just like any other Western marketing channel.
You've taken the leap from a bigger agency to starting your own, and you're a mum of two. That's a big challenge to take on, especially when it's your own business. You're wearing, as we discussed earlier, a lot of hats. How have you found that? It's
been good, and I've loved it actually. So I had a team of 6 before, so grew to a team of 6, and then had to scale it down again. And also being the primary carer of 2 kids, my husband's he's running his own cybersecurity startup as well. So having 2 startups in a family is challenging, but I don't know. We just get through it. I think it's actually better for the kids because they understand what we're going through. They're interested in how we're growing the businesses. They inquire about business life as well. So that's really, I think, even though there's a bit of mum guilt in there sometimes and you have to make a choice, I think the silver lining is that they're also learning. And I'm showing an example of how a woman can do it all, but not at the same time.
Yeah.
So
what's been your biggest challenge coming out of a big agency to having your own business? What's one thing that you've been like, I didn't expect that?
Well, I haven't actually worked in someone else's agency. I've just grown mine. So I started the agency without really any agency experience. I had a week, maybe a month-long internship in a PR firm back in my uni days, but I had no idea of how to run an agency. All I knew is what I didn't want it to look like. So I think from my in-house experience, I knew what was missing, and I knew I wanted to create an agency that would operate on my terms, but also support my lifestyle, but also support my team's lifestyle. So, but one of the challenges for me when scaling down was letting go of the team. I think when there's client churn and, your pipeline gets, it just shrinks for no reason, it's out of your control. But the hardest decision for me was to let my team go. I had everything scripted, and second sentence in I would start crying because for me I invest so much in my team.
Yeah.
So that was the hardest part, but I knew I had to do it in order to keep the business alive.
Yeah.
And I think what I learned was that you need to push ego aside and also just lean on the numbers and what the data says, and just make business decisions, big ones, without emotion. Because I think my idea of success back then was depending on the size of the team and the big office, and my perspective of success has changed since then.
If you're looking for somewhere to hold your next professional offsite, a place with brilliant service, all the amenities you need, and a stunning location, look no further than Eclat. Find out more at eclat.com.
What about some of the skills or habits when you reflect? What have you learned, or what are some of the things you ingrain in your everyday now that have helped you?
It's always been there, but curiosity. And I think that's one of the values I look for in team members as well, because that's what sparks creativity, what sparks an inquisitive nature. It also encourages experimentation, because that's what marketing is all about, right? So curiosity has always been there, and it's also helped me understand the different systems in every sector, whether it be government, real estate, retail, professional services. I understand the life cycles in that. So I'm able to kind of use those experiences in different sectors and create, I guess, better ideas, really. So I think, a lot of people are a bit wary about or unsure about trying something new because they don't have experience in an industry. But that could actually be a superpower, because your lived experiences and perspectives can create different creative ideas that person has never thought, because they've always done the tried and tested.
Yeah.
So, curiosity is one. The other one, I think, and it's been since I've been working for people, it's knowing how to build community. So I think I used to run events, and also back in my uni days, I used to organise snow hikes for international students. So we would, 20 of us would go to the Victorian Alpine region for a week, and, I would organise all their hiking gear, plan it out, trip attendant forms, everything, the food. But from that to running my own mentoring group. So I established a mentoring group with a friend when I was working full-time, so it was a side hustle. Yeah. Up until now, running an agency and helping clients build their communities. Building a community has always been a skill that I've wanted to incorporate into my work. Yeah. And I think marketing compounds because of the relationships that you build in there.
You mentioned curiosity. I imagine, AI curiosity at the moment, and how that can be used in marketing.
Wow.
And I'm sure every client's just coming to you saying, what are we doing about AI and what does it look like? Because it's, I think it's, people know 1% of what it's actually capable of. How are you using your curiosity to learn more about AI, and how are you using that in your business?
Yeah, I feel like I'm that 1% as well. So I feel like I'm only scratching the surface, but not a lot of clients are asking me about how we're using it. Yeah. I mean, I'm really transparent up front when we run solution sessions for prospective clients. We note how we gather our data, and AI is one component. Of course, we've got the workshops, the focus groups, the data online, but we're always transparent. AI is a tool. It's not going to replace the human brain. It can't, because it's limited by what we prompt it. But AI is awesome in terms of using it as a tool in marketing. And I think if for any business who is not trying to experiment with it now, they're falling behind. Yeah. I'm loving Claude Cowork right now. So Cowork's just been introduced, and just testing out different prompts to help me cut down my time on admin has been a game changer. So I'm excited about it, but also I think wary. Again, husband, cybersecurity. So he's always wondering, where is that data stored, and making sure it's within Australia. But I think always experiment. And I mean, there are courses out there, but I'm not sure if they're going to be well-rounded enough yet. Yeah. What about you guys?
Oh, we're looking into it, but it's a minefield.
Yes.
I think for us, it's because we are a people-facing business that's always going to be what we're about. So for us, how we use AI is more about how do we be more efficient and less manual in the work that we do, so that we can give our staff more time to be front facing with our members. So I think that that's the stuff that we're implementing at the moment for us, and that'll continue to be. I think from a marketing perspective as well, you want to put a face to the name. You want to be able to jump on a phone call and say, Steph, what's happening with this, or we're not getting sales, or this isn't working. So you've got someone who actually cares, and then it's your job to go away and work out what that looks like.
Yeah, 100%. I've just tried one automation last week, and that was I asked Claude Cowork to look at my Notion board, my project management task board, where all my tasks are, and for every client, draft a client email prioritizing the key tasks that we're going to be focusing on this week, but also outstanding tasks that the client needs to deliver on their side. And it goes into Notion, looks at it for every single client, then goes into Gmail, drafts the email with my tone of voice, because it sees the history in Gmail, which is my work email platform, and then leaves the draft in my inbox for me to review and then send off. That's scheduled. So it's something that would have probably taken me an hour and a half perhaps, because you have to look at every single task, which is great. So
efficient.
Very, it's exciting. It's, I'm just testing it out, but I think that's, again, curiosity.
Yeah.
It's part of it.
Through your journey of business and your own business, feedback, clients probably give you feedback, staff give you feedback. What's been some feedback that's changed the way you work, or as a leader, that might have heard at the time but has shaped who you are now?
I think it was going back to what I said before, was when there was client churn and the numbers just weren't stacking up with what I could maintain a team with. And so I had an agency friend said, you've got to let this person go, and I'm like, no, I can't, no. I know it might be the optimist in me, or denial, who knows? But I wanted to see if I could land some clients in order to keep the team. And it got to a point where my accountant came back and he said, look, this is the situation. And I said, okay, I've just got to let them go. And I think for me, that learning point was, I didn't take the feedback on, but in hindsight it was the ego and my hopes and dreams of what my agency could look like. At stake. And I was, my back was against the wall, and I just had to make that choice to, let those people go on. But
it's an evolution, just like every business. So one thing we were speaking about earlier was around your frustration at times when you go to a client and they said, where's the social media accounts? Where's this? Where's that? And there's that login was with a past employee, so we can't get into it. And talk to us a bit about that frustration, but also for people out there, how important is it to make sure they've got things in one place and they've got everything documented, so that when someone does inevitably move on, or when someone comes in to do a job like yours, it just makes it a lot smoother and cleaner for them to do their job?
Yeah, there are not many unexpected challenges that I've come across, and onboarding a client is probably one of them. And it shouldn't surprise me, but it sometimes does, because you never know what their marketing tech stack is like once you start onboarding them. And I think for me, what that frustrating challenge would be when you onboard them and find out that they don't have a Meta Business Suite or platform for agencies to manage for them. The other one is the Facebook business page was owned or managed by a person who they had a falling out with, and then can no longer contact them because, they're just on not on good terms, and so we can't gain control. And also technically that page could potentially just still be a personal page because it was created in 2007, not a business page. So all these things add up. Usually what it would it would usually take maybe a day to onboard the marketing tech stack to an agency. But with these things, you've got Meta support ticket requests, identity verification, emails, and back and forth between the client, Meta, and me. Sometimes it takes 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's the frustrating thing. But I think lesson learned is that you need to probably, for agencies, just to have an add-on to say if there are issues like this, you need to charge an onboarding fee for that, perhaps.
A big thanks to the production team at This Is Your Studio for producing this episode. They handle everything, the equipment, the technical expertise, and the editing, delivering you a complete, ready-to-upload episode in both audio and video. All you have to do is talk. Whether you're launching a podcast or leveling up your current one, they make it incredibly easy. If you need any support, have a chat to the team here at Eclat or reach out to This Is a Studio. When you look at different groups to come and work with you, so different people with expertise, consultants, are you really looking for that left field idea? Because you said about curiosity and you want different ideas and how people can bring a different approach. Is that something you're looking for in the people you want to work with?
100%. I think what the value in marketing is in creativity now. It's not so much strategy, while that is still important, but AI can do a lot for that. But creativity is what's going to push the needle and make people stop in their tracks and go, wow. And it also helps. It's also what gets clients excited. And I find with the previous team before, every time we present creative, it's always the left of field idea that gets picked. It's funny, but we're excited because that's what's going to capture attention, but also stop the scroll really. Yeah.
When do you know it's failed? You got to pull the rug out and start again.
When we present the options, usually there are maybe 3 or 4 brand territories, and always they'll pick one or maybe want to merge 1 or 2. And so it's always about reiteration, and there's processes along that that process.
So is that though you're looking at data, or you're looking at how it's been picked up, and then as you go along, you go, look, we thought this was a good idea, but we're going to have to pivot here and go to something else, or do you see it all the way through?
No, I think we see it all the way through because a lot of research is done beforehand. Yep. So we always have a workshop with the client, with their key opinion leaders as well, making sure we dive deep into their business goals, their audience personas, the psychographics, everything like about what motivates the audience and their ICPs, their ideal customer profile. And we then, develop those brand identities based on, that. So,
What drives and motivates you?
Probably family. So I was in corporate back in the day. So I worked for Cancer Council Victoria, Committee for Melbourne, and I started. Actually, this isn't my first business. I started a pure play online retailer selling Italian shoes for women online. Ran that for 6 years, and I did that because I wanted to create flexibility in my career, so I could watch my son take his first steps. And now it's like, pick them up from school without having to get permission to ask to, leave at 2:30 to pick them up. So I think for me, flexibility was huge, or is still huge. And I want to create a career that will work with my lifestyle. Yeah.
What's a frustration in the marketing industry that you would like to change?
It's probably to reduce burnout and the toxic environment of agencies. There's a lot of, back in the day, early 2000s, there's a lot of backstabbing and people wanting to claw their way to the top. I wanted to create an agency where, it was psychologically safe, but we were focused on being the best versions of ourselves. And again, I'm not really an agency. It's more of a collective. So we're an extension of your marketing team. And the clients have access to all of us. So it's not just just me. So, I just wanted it to be a place where people could enjoy work, going to work, whether it be work from home or at the office, but also, still have a life outside because they have a family or they have a dog, so they need to do that.
You're very accessible to all your clients by the sound of things. Plus, you want to build community. It's a really important part about what you do. How do you make sure you're not over-servicing and you're not giving too much of your time and you are actually making sure that it's a level playing field?
Impossible, Nick. I think it's, for me, I've been told I'm a perfectionist. I don't know. But it's also me wanting to make sure the client's happy. But also I think I have high standards of my work.
Yep.
And that's why clients are still with me. So I have clients who have been with me for 8 years. And that trust is so important to me. So how it can also be illustrated is that I have like self-imposed glass ceilings and I need to learn to break them in order to actually grow and be a better marketer, be a better agency owner, because I think there are just self-limiting beliefs that a lot of women and men as well self-impose. And it's about learning how to break through that as well.
As a mum, what's a value as a working mum that you want to teach or show your kids? You've got teenage kids, you're working hard, you're carrying lots of bags. What's a value that you want to instill in your kids as they journey into working world?
Empathy is really, really important now, especially in the world of AI. It's no longer soft skills are super, super important now. And I think if we approach business and relationships, because it's really relationships that we're dealing with here, empathy, compassion, curiosity, those are the things that I hope I'm illustrating or demonstrating to my kids so they can, understand it's not just about the outcomes or deliverables, it's how you get there with people. It is a journey.
Yeah.
Apart from at eClass, Steph, where can people find you if they want to have a chat about marketing and hear more about your business?
They can find me on LinkedIn and my website is mulberrymarketing.com.au.
Well, big thank you for joining us today. It's always good to hear different approaches and particularly all that curiosity. We love that and how you've approached it. So been a great part of the Eclat community. So thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
No problems.
This has been the Sounds of Eclat. Thank you for joining us. And as always, a huge thank you to This Is a Studio for all their support in putting this together.